Welcome to this course of Deep Learning. Have you ever wondered how Google's Translator app is able to translate entire paragraphs from one language into another, and that is too in a matter of milliseconds? Or how Netflix and YouTube are able to figure out our taste in movies or videos and gives us appropriate recommendations? Did you ever think that how self-driving cars are even possible? All of this is a product of deep learning and artificial neural networks. The definition of deep learning and neural networks will be given in this video little later on. First of all, let's take a look. What is deep learning and artificial intelligence? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning, which on the other hand is a subset of artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is a general term that refers to techniques that enable computers to mimic human behavior. Under this caption, here comes machine learning. Machine learning is the science of getting computers to act without being explicitly programmed. Means, now there is no need to write specific instructions to tell a machine what to do. Machine will learn by analyzing the patterns of data and then predict the output by itself. Machine learning represents a set of algorithms trained on data that makes all of this possible. Deep learning, on the other hand, is just a type of machine learning inspired by the structure of a human brain. Deep learning algorithms attempt to draw similar conclusions as human would do by continually analyzing the data with a given logical structure. To achieve this, deep learning uses a multi-layered structure of algorithms called neural networks. Now, what are neural networks? This diagram depicts neural networks. The design of the neural network is based on the structure of the human brain. Just as we use our brains to identify patterns and classify different types of information, neural networks can be taught to perform the same task on the data. The individual layers on neural network, these are the layers. This is known as input layer. These are known as hidden layers, and this is also categorized as hidden layer. And this layer is known as output layer, right? So these individual layers of neural networks can also be thought of as a sort of filter that works from gross to subtle, increasing the likelihood of detecting and outputting a correct result. The human brain works similarly. Whenever we receive new information, the brain tries to compare it with known objects. The same concept is also used by deep neural networks. As we know that human brain is comprised of billions of neurons, and these neurons are interacted with each other in this manner. Human brain is responsible to pass information, or you may say transit information, from one neuron to another neuron. And this is the same structure which is used by neural networks. As you can see that the neurons in brain are connected in fully connected manner. In the same way, this neural network is connected in fully connected manner. Means each and every neuron of every layer is connected with each and every neuron of the subsequent layer. These small circles are referred to as neurons. These neural networks enables us to perform many tasks such as clustering, classification, or regression. With neural networks, we can group or sort unlabeled data according to similarities among the samples in the data. Or in the case of classification, we can train the network on a labeled dataset in order to classify the samples in the dataset into different categories. In general, neural networks can perform the same task as classical algorithms of machine learning. However, it is not the other way around. Artificial neural networks have unique capabilities that enable deep learning models to solve tasks that machine learning models can never solve. Moreover, all recent advances in artificial intelligence in recent years are due to deep learning. Without deep learning, we would not have self-driving cars or chatbots or personal assistants like Alexa or Siri. So now, one question should be raised into your mind. Why deep learning is so much popular? Let's take a look. What is the reason behind popularity of artificial neural networks and deep learning? And above all, why are deep learning models more powerful than machine learning models? Let me explain it to you. The first advantage of deep learning over machine learning is the needlessness of the so-called feature extraction. Long before deep learning was used, traditional machine learning methods were mainly used, such as decision trees, SVM means support vector machine, naive Bayes classifier, and logistic regression. These algorithms are also called flat algorithms. Flat here means that these algorithms cannot normally be applied directly to the raw data, such as .csv, images, text, etc. We need a pre-processing step called feature extraction. The result of feature extraction is a representation of the given raw data that can now be used by these classic machine learning algorithms to perform a task. For example, the classification of the data into several categories or classes. Feature extraction is usually quite complex and requires detailed knowledge of the problem domain. This pre-processing layer must be adapted and refined over several iterations for optimal results. On the other side are the artificial neural networks of deep learning. These do not need the feature extraction step. The layers are able to learn an implicit representation of the raw data directly, and that is too on their own. Here, a more and more abstract and compressed representation of the raw data is produced over several layers of an artificial neural networks. This compressed representation of the input data is then used to produce the result. The result can be, for example, the classification of the input data into different classes. In other words, we can also say that the feature extraction step is already part of the process that takes place in an artificial neural network. During the training process, means during this process, this step is also optimized by the neural network to obtain the best possible abstract representation of the input data. This means that the model of deep learning thus requires little to no manual effort to perform and optimize the feature extraction process. Now let's take an example. If we want to use a machine learning model to determine if a particular image is of a car or not, we humans, first of all, need to identify the unique features, and what those unique features should be: shape of a car, size of a car, windows, wheels, etc. Anything that makes car a car, you should record that feature. You should extract it before giving it to any algorithm. In this way, the algorithm would perform a classification of the images. That is, in machine learning, a programmer must intervene directly in the action for the model to come to a conclusion. While in the case of deep learning, the feature extraction step is completely unnecessary. The model would recognize these unique characteristics of a car and make correct predictions by itself. Means, this is really something which is completely without the help of a human. In fact, refraining from extracting the characteristics of data applies to every other task you will ever do with neural networks. Just give the raw data to the neural network and the rest is done by the model. This is the power of deep learning. And this is the reason why deep learning is so popular. This is all about the deep learning in this video. We will discuss more about deep learning in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned. like the video, share the video and kindly subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for your time.